CtrlS data centers. And it is about take control of your digital transformation. The presentation will be curated by Mr. Anil Nama, CIO, CtrlS Data Centers Limited. Mr. Anil Nama brings over 30 years of IT experience in defense and corporate sectors. He was associated with the Indian Armed Forces, was part of computer network defense, and was involved in the setup of CERT team at the Indian Air Force, including cyber forensics. He currently handles solutions and products at CtrlS Data Centers. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on the very stage CIO for CtrlS Data Centers Limited, Mr. Anil Nama.
So I represent the data center piece. Today morning, after discussions, we heard three key things. One was what was the front end, which is the meter device, smart meter device. The second was communication. And then the whole of everything was named as back end. Now within back end, we saw the software piece, SAP. We are talking about the hardware piece, which is the data center. When we talk about smart meters, the smart meter, especially in India, I am talking only from an Indian context, it's growing. At 330 million, if you put all the world together, we will be 5x of that. Today in the statistics, the first lecture, I saw some 66 million number, some 12 million number, some 24 million number, never 100 million number. So our smart meters will cross some 300 million in numbers. They are already rapidly growing at a CAGR of above 30%. And as rightly said, the data that is there, that needs to be built to create various value propositions. So what are the driving factors? One is, of course, the government's financial support to this sector. It is driving this initiative. Second is the trend of artificial intelligence. Third is the restraint, the challenges in the production of the device itself. And fourth is the rising demand. All in all, if you see, this is happening because of digitization. And if I broadly classify right from UIDI to DigiYatra to UPI, all the initiatives, and parallel in the enterprises, this is what is creating the data center demand. Now people may think data center of two types. If I have a server room, that is also a data center. I am talking about IDCs. For example, let's take a bank. A bank, in earlier times when it had branch banking, it could have done with its in-house setups. But after the advent of web, mobile banking, this is no longer a closed network. It has to reside at a place where it's in a highway. And that is how the banks first adopted the IDCs. Next, you saw the series of taxes, which is including GST and UIDI, all of them went into a data center. Now we are seeing the third series. A meter which was read by a person of a utility company or his contractor, a closed network, is suddenly now becoming open. And it will traverse the path of multi-telcos, it will traverse the path of internet, and therefore you require a super highway to keep your assets in. Overall, if you see worldwide, 4.7 trillion is the impact this is going to have on the manufacturing sector, and some part of that impact would also come to the meter manufacturers. So what is CtrlS? We are a startup in Hyderabad. It started by Sridhar Reddy. I joined him from Airtel in 2008. Our first balance sheet was 78 lakhs. Today, of course, we have crossed 3,500 crores and 3,500 people. Over the years, as one by one segment came into the data centers, we started to grow. What have we done? We are now widely recognized as one of the most stable providers. I mean, in some statistics, we are the largest data center. In some statistics, we are number 2. But overall, the startup has become one of the key players in data center industry. What we brought to India is something like Smart meters. We changed the way colocation began. We said we'll bill it on PUE, power usage efficiency. We started this somewhere in 2012. Now it's the norm of a data center where you pay for the racks and whatever you use in terms of electricity inside your all IT is charged on a PUE basis. If I run inefficient data centers, it's my loss. If I learn better than them, then it's my efficiency. We are on a massive expansion spree. It's not only us, the whole industry is on a massive expansion spree because of this digitization which is happening all around. India market of IDC is going to grow 3x. Somewhere it's now 800 megawatts of external DCs. That in the next 2 years will become 2,400 megawatts. And we earlier, maybe 3 years back, we were top 5 players. Now we have 30 players, and more are coming to India. So that's the explosion that's happening in the data center industry. Where are we in this? Today we have a capacity of 250 megawatts. You would have heard about data centers, campuses. Mumbai 1 to 5 is a single campus in which 6, 7, 8, 9 are getting ready. It's a 300 megawatt single location campus in Navi Mumbai. We have DC1, DC2 in Hyderabad. Just now I made operational DC3, which is AI ready. And then we have the Chandan Valley. We are there in Noida, Bangalore, Chennai, so almost all metros we are there. We also experimented with edge. People said that IT is not available in smaller towns. We went to Patna, we went to Lucknow. You will be surprised to know within 2.5 months we sold off our megawatt capacity. We built very small, 1 megawatt. We are now planning 15 megawatt DCs at each location. That's the kind of demand which is coming from even local micro markets. So where are we expanding? In Chennai we constructed one DC, we had hired a sales team. We thought at 40 megawatts it will take us at least 3-4 years to sell. In comes an hyperscaler, takes the whole facilities overnight. Our sales team are still idle. We are trying to push up the second building by this December. We are talking about Hyderabad. So if you see closely, the government policies, especially the policy that they have announced through MORTH, which is running the fiber along all national highways, that is taking the advantage out of the coastal region. Earlier, any IDC you had to set up, the major locations were Chennai and Mumbai because that is where the fiber cables came. But as intra-country fiber rings come up, it is places like Nagpur, places like Hyderabad, places like Jabalpur, places like Indore, which are much more safer because they are not open to the vagaries of cyclones, floods, furies, etc. There is another hidden here, which is the Kolkata region. We are betting big. I already told you that Patna and in Lucknow we are building 15 megawatt. Out of that, Kolkata will go live first this year, December, at 15 megawatt. So the whole Indo-Gangetic plain, which starts right from Delhi NCR, Lucknow, Patna and Kolkata, and thereafter Guwahati, we are going to cover with a DC, because as this fiber ring comes up, the whole congestion today which happens on the Delhi-Mumbai-Chennai route, which is the only major fiber route in the country, will become distributed. And that is where we are growing. We have also created a robust AI roadmap. This you have to understand from an electrical and mechanical thing. Data centers which were built till 2017 and 2018 were like 6 to 8 megawatts. 6 to 8 kilowatts per rack. Suddenly with the advent of GPUs and so-called AI, you start at 30 kilowatts per rack. So erstwhile facilities will not be helpful to handle such heat density, such higher electrical loads. So we have been developing a whole AI roadmap. We are proud to be part of the Kritim journey. We have various other customers who have put in or hosted the AI workloads with us. And that's the roadmap that we are looking from liquid cooling. From services, we offer co-location, we offer network. In network, there is a new segment which has come up, which is known as DWDM network. There is no longer 1 gig circuit, 100 Mbps circuit. When we are connecting DC DR or DC NDR, GPU based setups, then each GPU has a bandwidth of 2.1 terabits. We are talking DC connectivity between 400, 800 or 1.6 terabit. Today, we provide it to various cloud providers. That's our aim. Our aim is not to become a telco. We are also a major e-government community cloud player. We are certified as GCC, which means we can keep up to secret data of government. And we have various offerings of smart meters, safe cities, smart city that we have with it. We are also SAP RISE partner through our sister company, Cloud4C. So what's our difference? Our difference is the highest uptime. Our difference is the lowest PUE, which is a TCO of running. Our difference is we have in-house people who design the data center, and we are the best rated, that means certified in all of the world. From network and upcoming, these are the few key highlights of the tier 2 cities that we are going to develop into major DCs, which will all be interconnected through the DWDM or dark fibers. I mean, we have multiple certifications. We have now multiple industries that we are serving. And we have been 100% renewable till 2030. We have already started on a captive solar plant for renewable energy. This is there in Amravati, Nagpur. The capacity will be 400 megawatt over a period of time. We are starting with 100 megawatt, going live this year. So sustainability is our core. It's not only about renewable energy. In Mumbai, we did an experiment where STP was throwing treated water into Washi Creek. We just routed it and put in our own filters, and today 1 million liters of potable water we have let go of CITCO, and we are using the wastewater to run our chillers and plants. Other than that, we have invested very heavily onto managed services, how to manage everything. Integration is a problem, and how do you come to know using the latest AI? So we build up a system known as SHOP, Self-Healing Operations Platform, that today serves more than 3,000 customers. Finally, as a group, as a startup, we haven't formed divisions. We have formed various companies within us. Each of them is a startup incubated, focused on specific workloads. For example, Automation X is for somebody who starts to use RPA or starts to do the first workflow automation. Big Little is when you want to analyze small sets of data. We call it as impact of $100 million or below. And you want to make out trends of it. First time you are experimenting, what is the dashboard? You have 8bit.ai. This is when you start to enter into the GPU, AI, ML, and you start to your own learning platforms. You require GPU as a service. Finally, you have Deep Forest. You now have an AI. You are afraid what will happen if it hallucinates. You are afraid what will happen if it leaks the data. That's the startup known as the Deep Forest. What has helped us in our journey is Snibel. We bought this German firm, and the German firm has been helping us design the tier 4 DCs. We've also delivered to NIC, we have delivered to NAC. All of those data centers were greater than 1,000 racks. And finally, the DWDM revolution is through the Pioneer eLabs. So that's all from CtrlS. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anil sir. I hope we have questions. Would you like to take questions, sir?
How much of the power you consume is actually spent on compute as opposed to cooling and networking?
On an average, sir, we are at 1.35 PUE.
Okay.
So which means every 100 watts consumed in this compute, we spend 35 additional watts on the
Adding circuit. And one other important aspect you didn't touch much on is disaster recovery. With the amount of data you're handling, what systems do you have in place for disaster recovery?
You're talking about DC or active networks?
Both.
Okay, so from data center design perspective, each of our building is Green Leads Platinum certified. We always develop it at 2 seismic level above the seismic zone that we are in. From an active network, we always had a DR on demand. We are one of the few providers in India who actually take up RTO, RPO based SLAs, which means even if the telco is down, we stand penalized. So we have been delivering this service close from 2015 onwards. I got 570, 580 customers who take DR on demand, sir.
Sir, I also have one question from you. So throughout the session, I could see that you were so relaxed and there is a smile on your face throughout. There were no lines of tension on the forehead. What is the secret behind this positivity?
Well, I've been with the group since the starting, madam, 2018. So I've seen it incubating in CtrlS, then we incubated Cloud4C. Now we are incubating the other 5. So all those tensions are last 3 years. Nothing remains to be discovered.
Thank you so much, sir. We would request you to stay back. Can we maybe have the honor to invite Mr. R.P. Singh, who is the Senior Vice President, Smart Energy Water, to kindly come on stage and felicitate Anil, sir.